Now on CoastTV News.
Remembering James Welsh, how you can pay your respects to a fallen hero. A traveling memorial departs Delmarva, who was honored, and what's next?
And the lack of rain in the forecast is showing us that we will be drying out even more for this week.
A beloved Milton barbecue truck leaving this location. What's next for Smokin' D's?
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf. Thank you for staying up with us after Sunday Night Football. We begin tonight with a hometown EMT being laid to rest after a tragic death. This is James Welsh, a Sussex Central High School graduate who would go on to be a Bethany Beach EMT and Sea Colony lifeguard. He and two others were killed in a helicopter crash in Kentucky after clipping a power line. You can pay your respects for Welsh and his family on Monday. On Monday, a visitation will be held at the Long Neck Chapel of Melson Funeral Services starting at 9 a.m. One visitation was already held on Sunday. A mass of Christian burial will follow at 11. That is at Mary Mother of Peace Catholic Church in Millsboro. The eulogy there begins at 10:45. CoastTV spoke with people who remembered Welsh fondly.
That contagious smile, I'll never forget that. It was the same smile the day I hired him to the last day that he was working for us.
I guess one of the fondest memories is him just helping everybody. He's just an unbelievable guy, and it's a huge loss.
Welsh leaves behind a pregnant wife and unborn child. A GoFundMe has been started to help the family, and we have a link for that on our website, coasttv.com. New tonight, heads up Worcester County. Sheriffs say someone is pretending to be them. According to the sheriff's office, an impersonator pretends to be a commander using the name of a real deputy and then demands money for a missed jury duty or arrest warrant. Deputies say if they call you, hang up immediately, as no law enforcement will demand money over the phone. Sunday was the last day of Remembering Our Fallen. That's a national memorial that was at the Lewis Ferry grounds for the past few days. Coast TV reporter Kevin Zapay shows us how the final day of the memorial was honored.
Thousands of pictures are being displayed in Lewis, and people from across Delmarva came to show their respect. The memorial represents those who have died following 9/11 in the War on Terror. The Iraq-Afghanistan Memorial is a traveling memorial that makes its way across the country. David Lutzen has driven this trailer to 6 different locations across the U.S. this year, and one speech made him want to help keep these heroes' memories alive.
Lonnie Ford made one statement in the interview, and he said that he was afraid his son would be forgotten. And now we have 5,394 photos displayed.
There are 33 of these towers, representing the nation's fallen heroes. The light brown color shows the heroes who have lost their lives due to wounds they suffered in the war zone. The blue represents those who took their own lives after the war, and the red represents those who died in training. Kelly Bergen helped organize the event here in Lewis and showed Coast TV some heroes' stories, from a young man and his dog saving lives to a former NFL player who fought for our country. But one story hit her close to home, meeting the mother of Corey Cowell.
I'm standing particularly in front of Corey Cowell, and I'm wearing the My Warriors Place t-shirt today to honor him. His mother created My Warriors Place in Ruskin, Florida, to honor him.
Organizers ended the closing ceremony with a prayer, and the community came together after to help break everything down. A final day for these fallen heroes on Delmarva, gone but never forgotten. The Iraq-Afghanistan's National Memorial will continue in Tennessee to honor the lives lost. I'm Kevin Zapay in Lewis, Coast TV News.
The Remembering Our Fallen Memorial goes all across the country. Here it was sponsored and put on by the American Legion in Lewis. There are over 30 tribute towers in total. Remembering Our Fallen began in 2010, and the memorial's creators say it was inspired by that man who felt his son had been forgotten, and the war wasn't even over yet. And while the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan are officially over, there are still thousands of troops on missions overseas, including in Iraq, and our hearts are with them. New tonight, Delaware plans for electric cars. Those plans are back in the spotlight this Wednesday at a virtual hearing that will be held by DelDOT and DENREC on Delaware's transition to EVs. DelDOT says this is about its plan to secure federal money to build high-powered chargers along a major highway. Now, DelDOT says it's related plans to DENREC, so they all going to have Delaware go all electric eventually, and this is the big kicker here. It would require 35% of new passenger cars sold in Delaware to be zero emission by fall 2025. That caused a lot of controversy and pushback, citing cost and infrastructure concerns. The public hearing about this is on Wednesday evening. New tonight, a beloved local barbecue truck is closing shop for now. Sunday was the final day for Smoke and D's in Milton. In a Facebook post, the owners expressed extreme gratitude to their landlords, the property owners. According to the owners, site plan approvals for the property back in 2021, they're about to expire, prompting that move. Owners say they've worked with the tenants to find new locations like Smoke and D's is hoping to do. If you're not familiar, this is where Smoke and D's is located, right on Cave Neck Road and Route 1. The development prompting this move, Chapel Farm, well, it was proposed to be multifamily units, a shopping center, and potentially a pharmacy. Dagsboro is once again considering regulating when alcohol can be sold in town. A new ordinance proposes to limit alcohol sales to 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. for last call. Delaware law allows for alcohol to be sold in restaurants and bars as early as 8 a.m. to as late as 1 a.m. Some people we spoke with say Dagsboro just is not on the right track.
The negatives here, it would cut back on our business drastically on Friday and Saturday nights. We also have a senior league that depends on us on Fridays. And as for the positives, I don't see any positives for us.
The council meeting is Monday night. Also on the agenda, a quote, lack of police presence in the morning and more visibility at community events from police. A Bethany Beach woman, Lisa Builder, has been arrested again. This time after she allegedly kicked the police chief after a promotional ceremony at Town Hall. Police say this was caught on camera. Builder was also arrested in August after being reported to swerve her car towards pedestrians on her street, causing fear and panic. We have more on this story right now. You can check it out on CoastTV.com. Lewis is pedaling closer to creating a bike plan. On Tuesday, a committee meeting is talking about collaborating with consultants and DelDOT. The goal of the plan is to make Lewis better for pedestrians and cyclists, both safer and easier transportation-wise. A bitter battle for the House seat that covers the Milford and Ellendale areas. You might remember the Republican primary for the 36th district. That was decided by only 12 votes. And some of the ugliness in that primary is rearing its head again as incumbent Brian Shoup, a Republican, and Democratic challenger Roni Baltazar-Lopez face off. Campaign funding was an issue in the Republican primary, and now it's leaking into the general election. Shoup claims Baltazar-Lopez is funded by developers who, quote, exploit people. Now, Baltazar-Lopez and Shoup shared their views with this exclusively to Coast TV.
The importance of that is these developers have a history of abusing and threatening our neighbors here at home. So for my opponent to take money from them, they've maxed out to him, and for them to give him advice should be a warning to people.
My response to Representative Shoup is that he needs to have a conversation with the Fannons and the developers that he's accusing. I've had those conversations and I've made it clear to them that my vote, if I am to be elected, is not to be bought. I am raising solely on their funds, and that's beyond the far truth. And I invite people to look at my campaign finance reports, which are all public.
Shoup has held the seat since 2018. We'll be sure to keep on this race and all of the races. Please join us on election night. And this week, early voting returns to both Maryland and Delaware. In Delaware, you can vote early between October 25th and November 3rd. In Maryland, it's October 24th to the 31st. Virginia already has early voting. That actually started September 20th and runs through November 2nd. Ocean View drivers, you're going to want to listen to this. Substation Road between Burbage Road and Beaver Dam Road, that will be closed starting Tuesday until December 6th. DelDOT says the months-long closure is needed for resurfacing and drainage work. Code Purple is looking for volunteers. The organization provides overnight shelter for the homeless between December 1st and March 15th. They need overnight and intake volunteers, and an informational session on Code Purple, that's this Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Avenue UMC in Milford. In case you missed it, Zombie Fest took over Milton on Saturday. The annual event is presented by the Milton Theater, and this year's theme was a haunted Mardi Gras. And that's not all. In Rehoboth Beach, hundreds of people came out to bark on the boards. I was the MC of that event benefiting the SPCA, and I saw firsthand many animals get adopted and lots of money raised. Well, Monday morning on CoastTV News, tune in for plans on how Lewis wants to tackle drainage issues at Canal Front Park. And then coming up Monday evening, tune in to CoastTV News for more on Delmarva's drought, days in and the dangers it brings. All of that and more Monday here on CoastTV.
Well, it's looking like our Monday is going to be bone dry once again because, hey, we've been needing some rain and we've yet to receive some so far. More on just how dry we'll stay coming up.
And after that, one Delmarva race is poised for a runoff. Don't go anywhere. We are back in just 60 seconds.
We know Angela Alsobrooks got caught taking illegal tax breaks, owing $59,000 in back taxes.
And she's now getting a deal. No penalties and a 25% reduction in interest.
Now the New York Times reports Alsobrooks lied on official mortgage documents, and Alsobrooks was sued twice for not paying her bills. Thousands in water, sewer, and other expenses. What scandal will they report next? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, like myself in tile, to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs, and that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your remodel.
I was able to look at everything that I was looking for my new kitchen, including the backsplash and the countertop and the sinks all in one place.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Well, although we're enjoying the sunshine, that's a given, but we still are actually in need of rain. In other words, you can have too much sunshine. We're lacking a bit of balance right now, which is why we're in the midst of a drought situation. Our live view, courtesy of our Tyndall Casual Furniture camera in Ocean City, indicating just how quiet and tranquil we are right now, with temperatures hovering in the 40s. Winds are relatively calm right now, but change direction now coming out of the south. That's going to be significant because, believe it or not, we may challenge for a record high this week before the temperatures totally tank. It's going to be a crazy temperature-wise type of a situation. We are clear right now throughout the Delmarva Peninsula. We're not concerned about any small craft advisory or anything like that. But what we are concerned about, the drought. That's going to be a problem. You see, I want you to take a look at this legend here. We're looking at abnormally dry, moderate drought, and severe drought. We have severe drought throughout central portions and along the coast for us in Sussex, and at least moderate drought throughout other parts. Now, as we widen this from a total Delmarva perspective, we see at least abnormally dry conditions for the entire peninsula, along with the other two that I just mentioned a few moments ago. Now, we are expecting temperatures to fall into the 40s. We're going to be cool for tonight. Not record-breaking cold, but cool. Take a look at this. I mean, really, since keeping records since 1945, we've been so dry that we're currently ranked 14 as far as the driest spell we've had. And being that I don't see any rain in the next 6 to 10 days happening, we're probably going to move up to number 5 here pretty soon, or even maybe even higher than that in the next coming days. Currently, we're ranked at 14, and unfortunately, I think we're going to take a shot at the title. That's not necessarily a good thing, particularly for the farmers. I mean, we've been without rain for over 23 days, okay? That's not good. And when we had the rain, it was just over 1/10 of an inch, so it's barely worth mentioning then. So we have a lot of farmers that are trying to compensate for the lack of precipitation. And for the next 6 to 10 days over the entire peninsula, we're going to be at least 3 degrees away from normal. So we're drier than usual. Good news is, at least, the good news is, we are having a prettier looking kind of a situation because, the leaves are turning because it's so dry, though, primarily. I mean, you take a look at our expectations for Monday, we're going to warm into the 70s pretty quickly, and we're going to become really warm over the next few really the next couple of days. I mean, for example, from Monday, we're going to peak into the 70s. And then as we go into Tuesday, we're going to possibly get to closely going into near the 80s, actually. But notice not a cloud danced across the screen as we were going through that timeline there. So think about this. 42, clear, cutting cool for us late tonight. Monday, we're looking for big time sunshine and 79 degrees. On Tuesday, actually almost hot. And this is where we start challenging for a possible record high. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast. Notice the big drop from Wednesday to Thursday. Big time drop. So please keep that in mind.
Paul, thank you very much. For our Cambridge viewers, the city is headed towards a runoff. Commission President Lejean Cephas won the mayoral race, but not by enough. In Cambridge, candidates must have a 50% majority. That just didn't happen. Cephas secured over 42% of the vote, and former Mayor Andrew Bradshaw received nearly 41%. So a runoff for them is scheduled for December 3rd. New tonight in Lewis, Monday, the city is discussing adding these artsy recycle bins on Lewis Beach. The goal, of course, is to encourage recycling on the coast. The cost of each fish, though, is $12,000. Yeah, Lewis Parks and Rec meets about that at 5 p.m. Still to come on Coast TV News, remembering Ted Becker, how the longtime former mayor of Lewis will be laid to rest.
Your Ford dealer presents Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. The intelligently designed F-150 truck with hands-free highway driving. Want more? Visit your local Ford dealer. Get F-150 with $3,900 plus $3,000 bonus cash or Super Duty with $3,900 or $2,000 customer cash.
An official message from Medicare.
I usually love plot twists, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You don't want any surprises. You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And make sure your prescriptions are covered. That's important.
And save some money.
Paperbacks and saving bucks? I like that.
Review your coverage and compare your health options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
We know Angela Alsobrooks got caught taking illegal tax breaks, owing $59,000 in back taxes.
And she's now getting a deal. No penalties and a 25% reduction in interest.
Now the New York Times reports Alsobrooks lied on official mortgage documents, and Alsobrooks was sued twice for not paying her bills. Thousands in water, sewer, and other expenses. What scandal will they report next? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
On Saturday, the longtime and former mayor of Lewis, Ted Becker, will be laid to rest. A public celebration of life is set for Saturday, October 26th at 11 a.m. at Canal Front Park. Becker died earlier this month. He had suffered from some recent health issues. For more on Becker's legacy and how he's being remembered in Lewis, you can head to CoastTV.com and search Ted Becker. New tonight, former President Donald Trump is on the campaign trail in Pennsylvania. And look at this. He spent part of his day at a McDonald's in Feasterville, Trevose, north of Philadelphia, even working the air fryer there. Well, authorities are working to identify the cause of a partial ferry dock collapse on a Georgia island that turned a day of celebration into tragedy, killing 7 people. Rob Kirkpatrick shows us what makes those circumstances extra heartbreaking.
Tragedy struck a small Georgia island on Saturday when a ferry dock partially collapsed, killing at least 7 people and injuring several others.
Multiple agencies responded to this incident, and once we got on scene, we realized that we had possibly 20 people or more that had went into the water because of the collapse of this gangway.
It happened as crowds gathered on the island for a celebration of its Gullah Geechee community of black slave descendants. Many members of that community sprang into action once they heard about the tragedy.
We're missionary, and we try to help people who are in need, and it was a time of need.
It remains unclear why the Marsh Landing dock collapsed. A team of engineers and construction specialists are investigating why it failed. Both President Joe Biden and Georgia Governor Brian Kemp said they were heartbroken over the news. Biden saying in a statement they are praying for the injured and anyone missing. Vice President Kamala Harris echoed those statements at a church in Georgia.
My heart, as I know for all of us, goes out to those who were impacted.
The tight-knit community is home to just a few dozen full-time residents and still continues many West African cultural traditions. That includes the art of basket making that was being celebrated Saturday in its Culture Day festival before tragedy struck.
We believe that in spite of how tough it is, that there is something good that will come out of this.
I'm Rob Kirkpatrick reporting.
The ramp at the ferry dock had also fallen, sending at least 20 people into the water. As Paul mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we're in a drought, and it's not just uncomfortable, it's really bad for Delmarva's biggest part of the economy, farming. CoastTV reporter Zakia Jennings shows us how these farmers are pushing through.
Dried up tomatoes, dried up grass. These are the conditions our local farmers are dealing with. The state is under a burn ban that seems to have no end in sight due to dry weather conditions. Owner of Sassafras Farmstead in Georgetown, Justin Quay, says moving his animals every week to a different paddock is a big help.
That way they get fresh new ground, and that helps to limit the damage done to the ground and allow the plants to recuperate in time for the winter time to hit.
Though he's worried that if we don't get any rain soon, his efforts to limit damage might not be enough. Sherry Long and her husband run Red and Rooster Farm in Georgetown. Long says they are a farm-to-table household, but right now, actually getting things to the table is a problem.
This year, because of the fact that we have the loss of the rain so early, I am having to struggle to try to make sure that we get whatever harvested that needs to be so that we can have it for consumption.
They also have a fire pit, which you can see here. Long says this picture is something they might not see for a while due to the burn ban. Even if you're just walking outside, you can feel it under your feet. Just the grass is so dry, you can almost hear it as if it's crunchy or breaking underneath your feet as you're walking. It's just that dry outside. But farmers say no matter what the conditions are, they are going to make the most of what they have. In Georgetown, I'm Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
And it's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerously dry. That drought has prompted burn bans in Sussex, Worcester, and Wicomico counties, banning bonfires, trash burning, and more. After the break here on Coast TV News, could a new turkey change your Thanksgiving forever? Some new science you might not even believe. But first, practicing safe driving, a different type of police interaction aimed to help certain drivers, up next on Coast TV News.
In Maryland, we live closer to the halls of the Senate than anywhere in America, but often it feels they're on another planet. Because when it comes to what's impacting your life, Washington's nowhere to be found. We can take on corporate price gouging, causing prices to skyrocket, expand access to affordable prescription drugs, keep our neighborhoods safe, and protect your hard-earned retirement. I'm Angela Also Brooks, and I'll be a senator focused on you. That's why I approve this message.
Hey, you're coming with me today.
I am?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
My sister loves volunteering with her coworkers.
Heads up.
I asked her why she likes it so much.
This is my little sister.
She said there's something special about helping out with Food Lion.
Yes, of course. Have a great day.
You get to make people smile.
Here to fill tables and hearts with hope. Food Lion feeds, here for every moment.
Are you suffering from hair loss? Maybe you need to cut a few pounds. Ready to start dating again? Well, here at East Coast Plumbing, Heating, and Air, we can help you with none of that.
But what we can help you with is plumbing repairs, drain cleaning, tub and showers, water heaters, air conditioning, heat pumps, gas furnaces, and sewer and water main replacements. Stop dealing with chamois that don't work and call Delmarva's top service provider.
East Coast Plumbing in the air!
Or find us online at eastcoastplumbing247.com. Forget about it.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division like myself in cabinetry to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs. And your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
It was very important to find somebody that was knowledgeable in the whole picture, the cabinetry, the appliances, and the countertop. We are delighted with the outcome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
As a math teacher, Matt Meyer knows that Delaware's tax system isn't adding up. So he has a plan to fix it. Give middle-class families a tax cut, invest in schools, and lower costs. But Mike Ramone's plan gives tax breaks to the ultra-rich, which could cut education by nearly $175 million. Matt Meyer knows these numbers don't add up. He'll make state taxes fair so families can get ahead. Vote Matt Meyer for governor.
On Tuesday afternoon, multiple people and police departments will be in Cape Henlopen State Park to help autistic drivers and passengers get more comfortable. Organizers say the live practice traffic stops offer autistic individuals a chance to interact with police as if they were pulled over, but in a safe and supportive environment. They can ask questions too. All of that is 3 to 7 at Cape Henlopen State Park. Registration is required. Hey, get this, Butterball has unveiled a new cook from frozen turkey that you don't have to thaw. I know, right? The country's largest turkey producer says the cooking turkey is only 2 steps, unwrapping it and popping it in the oven. It also doesn't need basting, brining, or even seasoning. Butterball says it made a, quote, specifically formulated brine that keeps the meat moist during the roughly 5-hour-long roasting process. After the break here on Coast TV News, if you feel like seeing a concert or getting tickets has become an Olympic sport, you're absolutely right. We're going to talk ticket demand and the science behind it up next.
And with our latest forecast models, we're looking for some rain. Take a look at this, our rainfall for the month. This is exceptionally dry, and we actually registered 0, so we're really behind the pace. Will that change? I'll let you know in your full forecast coming up.
The doctors of Delmarva Chiropractic take great pride in offering the finest, most individualized care to their patients and stay on the cutting edge of healthcare and clinical interventions. As winners of Coastal Style and Metropolitan Magazine's Best Chiropractors for 7 years in a row, Doctors Lane, Brown, and Taylor help with conditions such as back pain, sciatica, headaches, concussions, dizziness, and much more. The clinic also offers laser therapy, decompression, acupuncture, and custom orthotics. Call Delmarva Chiropractic today and take the first step toward achieving your maximum potential.
A wet crawl space is a lurking hazard, inviting mold, rot, and structural worries. The answer is Brazier's Crawl Space Encapsulation. Our specialist tailors the solution to your exact crawl space. Our expert team cleans and upgrades your crawl space into a pristine, protected environment, and we only use April Air dehumidifiers, reliable and robust, complete with a 5-year warranty. Take the first step to a drier, safer home. Call Brazier's or visit our website. Your peace of mind is just one call away.
Hey, Linda, come check out my bathroom remodel. I'm having it done by those guys on TV. They do everything. Paint me green and call me a cucumber. I thought they was going to spice up your bathroom, Cletus. You should have called Peninsula Bath.
Listen, Linda, you made the right choice.
At Peninsula Bath, we do bathroom remodeling, and that's it. Top quality, competitively priced, and customer focused, and ready when you are. Thank you, Peninsula Bath.
Ever have a day that just couldn't get any worse? Meet Tyler, the champion of chaos.
Having a day that's gone from bad to worse. When life throws you a string of unfortunate events, the Law Office of Trapp Nickel is here to provide a helping hand. Our experienced workers' compensation team is here to fight for your rights and help shape your misfortune into meaningful compensation.
If you've been injured at work, don't wait. Get the justice you deserve.
The law office of Trapp Nickel. Your priority is our priority.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, such as myself in appliances, to ensure that you not only get the best product for your needs, but that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your remodel.
It's always fun bringing clients into Delmarva Design Center. No matter how much they want to spend, there's always an option for people to pick something that they like.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Current conditions are actually, very tranquil, to be quite honest, and the winds are gently blowing out of the south, so it's making for a comfortable type of a setup. But you take a look at our radar and you can see we're staying very clear. We are still in the midst of a very bone dry pattern. In fact, as you take a look at our projection for the next few days, we have maybe, and really being very optimistic, saying a 7% chance of rain. That's basically mathematically zilch for the next 4 to 5 days in a row. And we're going to get progressively warmer as well. So we have a combination of things that's happening. We've been in the midst of a very dry pattern. As we take a look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, okay, we're really trying to project to see when we're going to see a change in our weather. And to be honest, it's not happening over our neck of the woods particularly, and it's covering the southern New England and New York and Northeast as well. Gray is normal, light brown is a little bit below that, drier. We're in more over towards this area when you take a look at the legend. But basically it's telling us we have dry weather in store and for the next 8 to 14 more days. So we may very well set a record on just how dry we're going to be by the time we're done with that 14-day stretch. Take a look at our expectations for a 3-day beach forecast. Lots of sunshine for Chincoteague for Monday and Tuesday. More clouds on Wednesday. Looking for the same basic pattern in Fenwick Island, 75 to 73, then 73 with more cloud cover on Wednesday. And we're looking forward to stay sunny on Monday in Lewis as well as Rehoboth as well as Tuesday. Temperatures going up a bit in both locations. Then we're going to go up to 75 degrees by the time we get to Wednesday in Lewis, 73 and cloudy skies or scattered cloud cover for us and Rehoboth. By the way, you can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. It's sponsored by the law office of Baird, Mandalas, Brockstedt, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 10-day forecast. I want to make one special note. We're going to possibly reach a record high on Tuesday going into Wednesday. But then after Wednesday going into Thursday, we drop like crazy. It's going to be a big difference, Maddie, between Wednesday and Thursday.
Paul, thank you so much. Well, you may have noticed seeing your favorite artist in concert, it's getting more expensive, especially when it comes to big names like Taylor Swift. Mary Bell Gonzalez shows us what could be driving these sky-high prices.
Lynn Habis-Reitinger is a self-proclaimed Swiftie.
Since 2006, when Debut came out.
And a determined one. Last year, she traveled from Orlando to Atlanta to try to catch a Taylor Swift show without a ticket secured.
The tickets in Atlanta were going for resale was probably like $500.
Lynn couldn't afford that. Instead, she listened from outside the venue. Now she's seeing her ticketless saga begin again. Tickets for this weekend's Era Tours shows in Miami going for hundreds of dollars on resale sites, some as much as thousands.
I love Taylor so much and I want to be there so badly, but that is such a huge financial burden.
What is driving these sky-high prices? Professor Andrew Mall from Northeastern University says it starts with demand.
We're in this situation because there aren't enough Taylor Swifts, right? This is a market of scarcity at work.
Bots and technology now making it easier for scalpers to purchase lots of tickets at once, but fans are now also reselling tickets as an investment.
There is a way in which we're being asked, what is the value of this experience, especially knowing that we can resell it for a lot of money.
Last month, Coldplay fans in India shocked to find tickets for the band's Music of the Spheres tour being resold for as much as $11,000. The aftermarket prices frustrating buyers around the world.
It's just really heart-wrenching. They go on and buy those tickets up so that they can resell them. They're not fans of them at all.
I'm Mary Bell Gonzalez reporting.
Now, you might remember earlier this year, the Department of Justice filed a lawsuit seeking to break up Live Nation and Ticketmaster, saying that monopoly of sorts hurt consumers and violated antitrust laws. Experts say if that lawsuit succeeds, it could help fans with ticket prices and availability. Well, thank you so much for staying up with us after Sunday Night Football. For more news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. We'll see you in just a few hours for Coast TV News Today, starting at 5. Have a great night.